started to notice very quickly, when I started my chakra series, that whatever chakra that I would talk about, I would go through lessons pertaining to that chakra, dealing with that chakra. We're on the heart chakra now. I think that from being independent for so long, from like growing up in a childhood, having a childhood that I looked at my mom, who was a single mom, independent, but took care of herself. When it came to love, I've only had one relationship. It lasted 4 years, and I fell into a codependency pattern. Now, this was a relationship with someone that I had already known. This was actually my best friend. And I don't think that, I have now, but at the time when the breakup happened, I never forgave myself for what I had done to someone who I considered my best friend. I was seeking out validation from that person when it was like, it's not needed. Someone doesn't have to forgive you. It has to be for yourself. And when I learned that helped me to grow from it. But I began to keep my emotions at like a distance, just from everything that happened. Like, losing not only your partner, but your best friend, someone that knows everything about you, and I'm telling you everything. It was hard to deal with. But I didn't realize that I didn't deal with it at the time. I jumped into something different, not like another relationship, but putting my attention towards something else, not really letting myself heal or experience or feel that emotions. That's 10 years with someone that I felt like I just kind of threw away, or I just let go. And I never dealt with it. And it isn't until I started to deal with it where I was like, oh. When it comes to the heart chakra and emotions, we always tend to put our attention towards something else. Let me just get my mind off of it. But that's what makes it worse. That's what makes it worse. And on top of not dealing with a breakup so catastrophic, on top of dealing with a breakup like that, I got my heart broken by something else that also mattered to me. And still does. But the aftermath of that, it was almost as if it was like two broken hearts at the same time. At the same time. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I kind of understand where this trauma comes from, where this negativity, where this mindset of shielding myself away from these emotions comes from. And as I've been deeping into the heart chakra, I'm starting to notice the lessons and experiences that are popping up that are forcing me to recognize those feelings, those emotions. It's forcing me to sit and feel and be taken over by the emotions so that it will pass, so that it will no longer bother me. That's kind of what I'm learning right now. I'm showing myself a lot of self-love. A lot of self-love. Because I'm always there for everybody else. The drop of my hat. And I learned this from my work situation. I just always giving. And then when it comes to be, especially recognizing and understanding that I have ADHD, I can barely take care of my basic needs sometimes. Or this was something that I was going through. And now that I'm like overcoming, so it's kind of like fresh wound, like you just barely put a Band-Aid on it. Now you're working towards healing. Love is so important. It is. And it's great when you have it with other people, but it is so important for the self. Positive thinking. surrounding the negative thoughts, surrounding any issues, any problems. Love makes the world go round. Love is the source of life. I asked TikTok one time, what is the source of all life? What is the source of life? Someone said, I think it's love. And I liked that idea a lot. Love does make the world go round. Because from learning about the solar plexus chakra, learning that who you are, your personality, your identity, your character, that you chose to be in this plane of existence, comes with this passion, this purpose. And to find your passion or your purpose for life, you have to understand, you have to find your passion. Your passion is what is in tuned and what is in line with your heart. When you give yourself the time and the space and the energy to sit and be with your heart, to dust off any hurt, any trauma that was left on it, any negative thoughts, any gunk that you've placed upon yourself, any self-sabotaging things that have been placed upon you, makes a heavy heart. I'm just going to post this video here because I just kind of wanted to talk, and I hope that it just gets to the people that want to see it. I got a lot going on in life, and I'm just learning how to follow my passions. That love for life. I'm going to end this video with a little vulnerability. I mean, I'm always vulnerable, but because I quit my job, it's like, okay, you quit and you have you took away your only source of income, and now it's like, okay, yeah, I have this business that I want to thrive, but the business is not making me money right now, or the money that I need to sustain myself. I'm a Taurus, I'm an earth sign. I value stability, foundation, security before I can ever feel good enough to continue out into the world and shit. But I did a reading, and I was talking about stuff and asking questions. And after that reading, I basically was asking, I have this whole week off, and basically this whole week I wanted to know whether I should continue to bartend just so that I can have money, but that would be a choice out of fear, or if I should just sit and create and know that, by putting energy into what is aligned with my passion and everything, that I'll always be okay. And so basically the cards was like, no, you need to take this time to yourself. You're in this conditioning process, building a routine. And so I'm fully trusting, who knows, maybe after this week I lose my house, who cares? At least I fucking trusted myself. I don't know, maybe the next week, maybe that's what I needed to do in order for things to happen, was to trust myself with having absolutely no latch on into any type of successful future in my material circumstances. That might have been a lot, but that's how my brain works. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this because toward the end of the reading, before I was about to put my cards away, and I rarely give readings on myself, but I usually just meditate, but sometimes when it's detailed, I want a detailed answer, I go deeper for clarification. I asked the question, I said, what influences from my past lives are affecting me in this current one? What is influencing me from my past lives or whatever? I pulled 3 cards. I always shuffle the deck, I cut the deck, and I go 1, 2, 3. The first card was a Pentacles card, but it basically just gave me the idea that representing that I have a karmic issue of finances, stability, foundation, building that and keeping that up. The second, and I definitely know that because I'm pretty sure that my finances is when it comes to finances, it's a generational curse. I'm overcoming that. I'm not bringing that. Anyway, the second one that came up was about trusting myself, or trusting myself basically. Knowing that I am this Empress energy, that I create, that I have the power. And then the third one was the Three of Swords. It had to do with my heart, something that dealt with love, emotions, dealing with that. I mean, it goes deeper, but obviously this is personal to me, but that's basically the basics of it. And those are also the three things that constantly create blockages for myself. It's as simple as that. Knowing the answer and still. Anyway, so I'm in this moment of being in the heart chakra, my emotions, the divine feminine. All kinds of aspects of myself, loving all aspects of myself. I never hate myself, but I mean, when it comes to love and how I give love to other people, but when it comes to like love and relationships, that's where I close off. That's literally my only issue. I don't know what it is, man. Anyway, I guess that's what YouTube's for, huh? Just to chit chat. I'm gonna turn this off now.